Unc, what's one thing life taught you?
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up. Sometimes shutting the fuck up is the best thing you can do.
Unc, what's one thing life taught you the hard way?
Well, anybody can switch up on y'all, sometimes for no reason at all. Even after everything you've done for them, they'll sit there and watch you drown.
Yeah. Unc, what's one thing life taught you?
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. Might as well save that energy, because you're most likely gonna fuck up again in the future.
You are a celebrity. So basically what's gonna happen is there's product here. And this is where you end up, right here. If you can communicate this product, you can make money off the product. Because look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
What about alcohol?
Alcohol make you drunk, man. It don't make you meditate. It just make you drunk. When you drink alcohol, you don't meditate. You're more get-headed. Herb is more a consciousness.
Now somebody explain to me why I gotta be rich to fuck a broke bitch. How does that work?
Nightfam, have you seen what's happening to the foods in America?
I want y'all to look at this. I want y'all to look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Don't eat no watermelon from Walmart.
Because people have been exposing what they believe are fake fruits.
I got a rubbery watermelon. The texture is so weird. Like, you gotta bend it so far before it will break.
And even magnetic meat being sold in supermarkets.
The magnet that I got from here, it's the Great Value Chicken.
From silicon blueberries.
Oh, stretch it if it really is rubber. Stretchy. I'm like pulling with all of my might. Squishy.
Rubbery avocados.
They are selling fake avocados in Texas.
Suspiciously stretchy bananas.
These are not real bananas. She opens it and she breaks it in half. It gets very tough and doesn't really break. When it pulls, it's like it's glue. It's very tight.
Strange watermelons with skin that just peels off like this.
Does anybody has problems with their watermelon like this?
Or suddenly burst like this.
Why is it doing that? Okay, it is actively bubbling. So...
Ooh! And even fake onions that suddenly look translucent when cooked.
About to make a salsa, look at this. Freaking onion see-through, clear, look at that. Pull it up, look at that. What the hell? Dude, some fake onion, look at that.
What is happening and how can this affect you and me?
Warning, the fake fruit in America is now exploded.
Has genetic modification gone so far in America that hundreds of people are now consuming fake food?
Some are saying the fruits are being pumped with growth hormones.
Like, how can you explain watermelon that looks like meat?
Cut it open and it was like plastic. Tasting it was absolutely horrible. I didn't really know what to do with it, so I threw it outside. This is a week later. It looks like mud. What's going on?
Or, as another one pointed out, this fruit that looks like it was made with sandpaper. Why does the rind look like paper? I mean, it gets even more worrying because some are now speculating these are being manipulated in secret labs. I need someone to put this new rubber fruit under a microscope and compare it to the real thing. And apparently these fake fruits were so modified that even chickens refuse to eat them. All the watermelons I bought so far are nasty. I tried to give it to the chickens and they wouldn't eat it. Something is wrong.
After being left on the counter for just a few days, the watermelon spontaneously exploded, with its juice splattered all over the kitchen. The weirdest thing about this is how the skin crumples like paper when it's touched.
Right now, some people have this wild conspiracy that it is the US government who planned all of this.
Avocado from Mexico. Do these numbers mean something? Like, I just don't understand.
This is 100% not food.
At this point, question everything.
Tasted even worse. I'm of you. I think they're trying to kill us. Conspiracists are saying the economy is so bad right now. Big businesses are probably thinking of questionable ways to sell less real food while getting the same money. So why isn't the FDA speaking on this mess?
They trying to kill us, man. We gotta stop this, man.
Especially because many have observed these fake fruits don't even decompose, even sitting on their counters for weeks.
I've never ever seen a banana like that. It looks very, very fake and Play-Doh-y.
And that is why many have taken it upon themselves to investigate from their own backyards.
Here's the blueberry. We cut it in half. There's the glistening rubber, the detail on the top.
Do you see how much of this I already ate? I'm gonna put it to the test. I'm gonna put this thing outside.
And why many of them are now planning to plant their own fruits and veggies just to feel safe again. Obviously, the question is important. What is the truth, really? Are fake foods really taking over America?
It's like plastic. It's like foamy. Gross.
Well, there is certainly a big problem we spotted while investigating all of this. But first, let's solve this fake fruit mystery. First of all, the bendy avocados, bananas, or watermelons were likely just unripe fruits that got stored in cold temperature, and it disrupted their natural ripening process. The deflated watermelons, those just likely lost their moisture or got so spoiled that bacteria and fungi already broke down their flesh. Same with the so-called silicon blueberries, which were likely just past their prime. That's why their skin lost moisture and got rubbery. While the acid ball watermelon was likely just a rotting watermelon that had fermented inside, causing internal pressure for it to burst. And finally, that mysteriously magnetic meat. Well, it's very possible that the magnet just stuck because of the product's texture, angle, or moisture. So no, Nightfall, these are not fake foods. America is so far still somewhat safe when it comes to food. But that doesn't mean these people claiming they're fake don't have something to teach us too. Because if anything, this just shows us that we as a modern society have become so lazy and dependent on convenience that we are so ignorant about how basic food like fruits are grown.
That is disgusting.
So maybe, instead of creating yet another conspiracy, we should instead take this opportunity to celebrate the source of our food. Please share this video to fight the fake news and to appreciate our dear farmers who are working so hard to feed us all with real food.
1933 is when they started monetizing us and pledging us as collateral for the debt. Now, to register, the word register means to abandon. And when you register a car or a birth or a house, you're giving it to the government. You're giving your legal title to the government, and you only retain equitable title, which means that you have the use of that property. The government allows you to use it, thinking that you own it. Clear evidence of this is anyone who owns a house, look at their mortgage, and you're referred to as the tenant. Not the owner, the tenant. So if you think you own your house, you're mistaken. Same with your car. The reason why they can impound your car is because you registered it, and under maritime admiralty salvage laws, they come along and they adopt it. In the case of the birth registry, they adopt the abandoned child.
The more you eat, the body keeps saying, I'm still hungry. And you eat some more, and I'm still hungry. You eat some more, and I'm still hungry. And you begin to buy these larger dresses without realizing that your body is talking to you. It is telling us you are hungry. But we interpret hunger with eating a lot to quench it. No. Hunger only says that you are starving for the food that is natural. And in proportion, you could eat 5 pounds of food, never receiving any nourishment. But if you eat 2 ounces of something natural, you will feel the energy immediately. Why? Because it will assimilate. Assimilation means it's going to go and digest with you. It becomes one with you.
That he was at the house one night, and we were talking, and he started laughing. He said, "Aaron, what do you think women's liberation was about?" And I said, I had pretty conventional thinking about it at that point. I said, I think it's about women having the right to work, getting equal pay with men, just like they won the right to vote. You know? And he started to laugh and said, "You're an idiot." And I said, "Why am I an idiot?" He said, let me tell you what that was about. We, the Rockefellers, funded that. We funded Women's Lib, you know? And we're the ones who got all over the newspapers and television, the Rockefeller Foundation. He says, and you want to know why? He says, there were two primary reasons. And they were, one reason was we couldn't tax half the population before Women's Lib. And the second reason was, now we get the kids in school at an early age. We can indoctrinate the kids how to think. It breaks up their family. The kids start looking at the state as the family, as the school, as the officials, as their family, not as the parents teaching them. And so those are the two primary reasons for Women's Lib, which I thought up to that point was a noble thing. You know, when I saw their intentions behind it, where they were coming from when they created it, the thought of it, I saw the evil behind what I thought was a noble adventure.
What the elites are trying to hide could change everything you know. The book Know the Only Truth, silenced by many, reveals hidden truths and secrets your government never wanted you to know. Click the link in my bio to learn more before it's too late.
No, I seriously think about this every single day, and I'm sorry if I sound stupid. If somebody has $500 and they've already paid taxes on it, and they give it to me, so now just because it goes from them to me, I also have to pay taxes on it, even though they just did. And then not only that, but anytime I spend one of those $500, I'm going to also pay another tax fee on whatever item I'm buying. And then whoever I bought the item from will have to pay taxes on the money they just earned from what I bought. So like, so every single dollar, like, if a dollar is 100 cents, hold on, just forget it.
Comment book. If you want to be the first to uncover what most will never know, it's time to understand what's really behind the story.
Here's something that rich people do that you can do too. Stop using a savings account and instead put your money in a whole life insurance policy. Then you can loan that money out to your business and charge your business interest. Your business pays no taxes on that loan, and the business can also write off the interest. As the business is making money, it's going to pay you back with interest, and you're going to take that money and pay back the life insurance policy. And the best part is that policy is gaining compound interest and dividends as if you never touched it, and you're not paying any taxes.
Parasites in your gut are called fatigue, while parasites in your brain are called brain fog and memory loss. Parasites in your liver are called sluggish detoxification, and parasites in your joints are called inflammation and arthritis. Parasites in your skin are called eczema and acne, and parasites in your stomach are called bloating and weight gain. Parasites in your immune system are called chronic infections, and parasites in your digestive tract are called nutrient deficiencies. To detox from parasites, I recommend a holistic approach with all natural ingredients. This is soursop bitters. Now let me read to you what's in this. There's premium organic soursop leaves, native to Ghana, by the way, and not found in the United States, burdock root, sea moss, apple cider, aloe vera, and Africa mango. Just 2 teaspoons of our soursop bitters before bed, and you'll wake up feeling like a whole new person. The results, mind-blowing. And here's the crazy part. It's flying off the shelves in the TikTok shop right now, thanks to an insane flash sale. If you see that little orange cart below, hurry up because it's still in stock, but not for long. It's now or never. So click this button and get yours before they run out. By buying now, you get free shipping. Then just come back here and thank me later because I know you'll love it.
Women, and here's my theory, and I could be completely wrong, and the internet probably gonna destroy me for this, but I think women that have more than 2 baby daddies usually have some sort of mental illness.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, because you're getting genetically modified too much. I think, okay, so this is what I know. Every time you get pregnant, right, there's stem cells that come from that baby, and that's them stem cells end up behind your eyes and your brain and your heart and your lungs and stuff and help your organs heal while the baby taken from you. And those stem cells will always stay with you, right? So that means that man is always in you. And that is why, the Bible says you will only desire your husband. Correct? This is why you gotta use condoms. Because that baby better get up inside you. And the uterus is very porous, much like the mouth, right? So when anything goes up in there, it automatically, the uterus starts to absorb it. It starts going through the vaginal walls and all that. And the blood, it gets into the bloodstream, right? And so, so it takes
get in there.
So it takes like 6 weeks to get a man out of your system if you have unprotected sex. And it's because he's starting to bind to your DNA, right? And that's why it's couples, when they be together too long, they start looking alike. You start looking like him. Like, it's not, the guy don't start looking like her. She start looking like him because he is genetically modifying her. And every time you get pregnant by him, you start to get modified, right? So if you get pregnant by multiple people, right, that's multiple spirits, multiple thoughts, multiple modifications from different DNA strands to have mental stress. So, it's very evident, like what I'm saying is very evident and makes sense because, like, you got all these dating apps, all these women like free sex, free this, whatever, I'm doing, but I'm living it, I'm exerting my sexuality and all this, and I don't care if I got 5 kids or 5 baby daddies, whatever. Usually those bitches are mentally, they're struggling in so many different ways, not just financially, but also just like on where to focus, how to whatever, because you got too many different bloodlines in your blood.
Too many kids. I mean,
you have mental illness. So that was my theory on sperm.
That makes sense. That's very, very.
And that's why you can't just. That's why you have to use condoms, ladies. That's why you have to use condoms. We cannot genetically modify men. Now,
the English, for the most part, is black magic. Information. They give us all the information. Well, break it into 2 syllables. Information. I'm going to put you in formation. You're going to follow me by the information I give you.
That's deep.
That's the magic that they use, right? They use the English language, politician, magician. You ever thought about that? Politicians are basically magicians, with words. Word sorcery.
In words, if you put a S before it, is sword.
Sword. Cellular phone. Cellular connection, our cells connecting, transhumanism, it's all right in front of us, and they know it.
You get put in prison, you get put in a cell, and you're charged, you charge a cell.
Words have so much power because they have a lot of frequency in them. I mean, read the Bible. Yes, you may not be Christian, you may not be religious, but God said, let there be light, and there was light. He said a word, and it turned on.
It's cryptic. Hidden. Cryptic, hidden.
So, crypt. What is a crypt? It's a tomb.
Tomb, yeah.
Tomb, okay. So I'm going to go back to this. In 1666, what did they deem everyone to be? Dead at sea. The fire of 1666 in London, everyone was deemed to be dead at sea. Dead man. Currency. Dead at sea. Currency. We run on what they call maritime law or admiralty law. Citizenship. And crypto is what? Cryptic money, cryptocurrency, dead man's currency. Go look up what the definition of persons is in Black's Law. Person actually stands for corporation. All of your mail that comes from banks comes with your names in capital letters because it's corporate law. You're considered to be a what? A corporation, which is a corporation dead or alive.
A corp.
Dead. It's corp. Yes, it's a corp. And the only reason governments can go into debt is because, why? Well, because they are pulling bonds on all of the dead people.
Mortgage means death pledge. Mort is death. In Black law, human is monster. And
monster.
That's why you got monster, so you could get your job for your corporation to pay the taxes.
We live in the biggest Ponzi scheme I have ever experienced in my life.
BTC, if you add that up with numbers, TC equals 32. It equals 322, which is a secret society number. That goes back to the Pirates of the Caribbean because it goes back to the whole water thing and the currency. Everything in finance is maritime law and based off water. You have a riverbank, and that's why you have a bank. You got cash flow, you got liquid assets. If you're in debt, you're underwater. So XRP It's named Ripple. That's a water, and it's a bridge currency. So it's a bridge that...
Right? The brain don't have an IQ. The heart don't pump blood. That's what they tell you, that everything they tell you is backwards. Right? Let me tell you so you know. Your heart pumps energy through your body, frequencies that come in through your head that they call a brain, and say you have an IQ and you don't got one. It's a conscious level game. But conscious is not from thinking. The brain has no IQ. It can't. It's a receiver. You get smarter by cleaning your vessel. Right? That's how you get smarter. IQ is a lie. You should have known that when they told you the dolphin had more brain power than you. You just said, you stupid. Everybody's the same smart. Let me tell you what I mean by everybody's saying smart. Michael Jackson said this. He wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Song come to his head. I gotta record it now, right now, because Prince don't get it. He understood that we all got the same information available to us as watching this firmament.
That's why you and
right? It's just about how you position yourself, your antenna to receive it. That's why I tell you I'm dumb. When I talk, it's not me. I know where I pull from.
Okay, shit then,
You know, and look at what they've done to our men. Look at most of our men have serious erectile dysfunction now. And all the stamina this and the big wood, you know, rock hard and stay hard, that don't work. You need blood. You need fresh blood to come down there. And if your blood is full of macaroni, pizza, gooey cheese, it's not going to come down. And if it comes down, it's going to leave behind uric acid from all the fish, all the chicken, all the goat, all this fancy, high gourmet, even expensive meats. Yeah, we've been had.
Fake friends is like full quarters. They change for $1. I'm gonna say that again.
Oh, wow.
Fake friends is like full quarters. They change for $1, man.
You have to be careful what you're putting into your brain, right? Because all of the energy surrounding the way it was planted and so on, all of this goes into your body. Just like when you eat animals, all of the tension that is created inside these animals when they're about to be slaughtered, you internalize it when you eat it. So you have to think about the herbs in the same way. If you can't get the ganja, you have to go learn to meditate without it. And you have to go find some other herbs too, because we're not just promoting getting high, we're promoting wellness. And ganja is a thing that is good for your brain. Your brain has cannabinoid receptors. That means you are designed to use this thing to heal yourself. So, and you can get, you can get this from other things too, but if you can't get the ganja, you have to go try grow it. You have to go try secretly grow even a little one plant. I promote that. I promote growing it yourself. And if you can't, then you have to go do your investigation, do your research, and find out if it is really that important to you. Because putting some bushweed or some brickweed or some weed where somebody stick up in them woe if you can't come and find this don't do nothing for you. This can't heighten your meditation. You know what I mean? So you have to look at, why am I using this herb? Am I a junkie? Am I addicted to this thing? Because we're not promoting addiction either. So unless I can get the best quality of food and anything to put into my body, it is not going into my body.
Provision that the black man is qualified to give us is one of money. And we have made finance the major focus of our relationships with them. We have made the one thing that most of them don't even have be the criteria. We have been taught that if they do not give us money, that we are not to even allow them to be a father to their child. We have been taught that if he does not give us money, that he is not qualified to tell us what to do. We have been taught that if he does not give us money, that he doesn't have any rights in the home. It's whoever is making the money who has the rights. That's not our system. The black man provides more in a black home than just financial support. He provides direction, guidance, gratification, fulfillment, and discipline for our children. Those are the principles that are missing in our home today, which is why our children are savage in the streets. We see those children out there sometimes acting wild and uncivilized and disrespectful because they don't respect anyone, because we didn't teach them any respect. We didn't know how. And a lot of times we look at them and we say, yeah, they're out there doing this, and we act like that they dropped down out of the sky. But those are our children. We birthed them up out of our womb.
Who cares? They're children. They need to go to school. They need to learn about the world.
Justin! Jackson! Would you please come down here for a second?
What?
How old are you now, Jackson?
13.
Can you tell me what the Bill of Rights is?
What something costs, I guess.
It's a good guess. Justin, you're in high school?
Yeah.
Do you like school?
It's whatever.
Do you know what the Bill of Rights is?
It's a government thing, right? Like rights that people have in America and stuff.
Yep. Hey, Saja?
Yes?
Would you please come down here a moment, sweetie? I wanted to ask you a quick question. Saja just turned 8, by the way. The Bill of Rights.
Amendment 1. Congress should make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of...
Stop. Regurgitating memorized amendments isn't what I'm asking for. Just tell me something about it in your own words.
Without the Bill of Rights, we'd be more like China. Here, at least, we don't have warrantless searches. We have free speech. Citizens are protected from cruel and unusual punishments.
That's enough.
Are protected.
Wait a minute. Sergeant, how would you characterize the 2010 Supreme Court decision on Citizens United?
Corporations have the same rights as people, so there's no spending limit on candidates. Which means a country is ruled by corporations, and their lobbies do fund candidates and command their fealty by demanding...
Jesus Christ. You made your point. We get it.
Why do we spend 14 years at school, kindergarten, junior, middle school, high school, learning things that will be of no value that you can look up on the internet? You know, my daughter had to learn the capitals of all the states and the names of the rivers in Canada going from left to right or west to east or whatever. Why? You can look that up. And anyone who learned those things, if you ask them now, they probably don't remember. And what consequence? But they didn't teach our kids how to balance a checkbook. You know, in fact, checks aren't used that much, but how to balance a bank account or how to figure out how much you've got there or how to make a transaction. The things that I think would be really useful, they don't teach. Because I think what's going on is in school, we're taught skills that you can use in a job to swap time for money. And why are we taught those things? Because school teachers, by definition, have a job. They are already people who swap time for money.
The reason that all your computer screens are blue lit, the reason none of them are red lit, the reason none of them pay attention to circadian biology is because that original technology was developed in a government program that Bobby Kennedy knows about, and I happen to know about because I went to medical school at LSU. For those of you who've never heard about Operation Paperclip, you think it's all conspiracy theory. So at Tulane Neurology and Tulane Neurosurgery in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, the CIA started a program there where they would do all these crazy things to monkeys. The CIA wanted to see how they could control things utilizing different things like drugs and things like that. Where the neurosurgeons got involved, which is my clade, we would drill tops of the heads off, put wires into the thalamus, put electricity in there, and kind of see what kind of behavioral changes we could have. One of the guys that was in that program was a guy named Professor Delgado. When he saw that we could control the behavior with the wired device, he said, what if we do it wirelessly? So he checked it in monkeys and checked it in bulls, and it turned out you can do it wirelessly with RFID chips and semiconductors. Then the CIA took it to the next level. They said, well, since this is electromagnetic radiation, what if we did it through light through screens? And it turns out you can. And that's the reason why all your computer screens have the frequencies they have. So why is this all important? Well, the person that set this meeting up between me and Bobby is the patent attorney that made sure that Google and Meta have those things so they can control the things that we all do. Where did the original idea come from that started off in MK Ultra with the CIA? You're going to be surprised when you hear this. It came from the mafia in Las Vegas. They wanted to build a new city in a desert. They enclosed it all, blacked out the windows, invented slot machines that were blue lit. And they found out that they didn't have to take a gun, stick it in your face to steal your money. Then they even got smart. They said, let's give people free alcohol while they're doing that. And they found out they got the money quicker. And that's when the CIA got the idea to start this program. That's really how it started.
The worst feeling for a man is when he tries to have a conversation with a woman about her behavior that hurts him every day. But instead of listening, she gets angry and turns the situation around on him and makes him look like he's the problem. He just wanted to be heard. He just wanted to feel understood. But instead he ends up questioning himself. He goes quiet, not because he's okay, but because he's tired of being unheard. It's not drama. It's not nagging. It's his heart asking for effort, for change, for care. A man will stop talking when he feels it doesn't matter. And once he stops, it's hard to get him back because silence is louder than any word he ever said. He needs love, not lectures. Empathy, not ego. Listen before he stops trying. Understand before he walks away. Because when he's done for good.
If you want to know God, you have to transcend religion. If you stay within religion, you will never know God.
That's
you will
right.
believe in God,
That's right.
but you will never know Him.
I agree with you, brother.
And if you don't know God, you will never be free. If you see people who believe in God, they're looking for Him in the far off while they had Him right in front of their nose. That's the problem.
Yes, sir.
Religion. Listen, you know what I ask my brothers when they get angry with me? I say, between man and religion, who came first? Man. You see, if man came first, now you tell me, the men who came and left before religion arrived, where would they go? To hell or where would they go? Answer my question now. The people who came before the arrival of religion, they came and left. Where would they go?
They go right back to the cosmos.
They can't answer it. Religious people can't answer this. It's too deep. They can't answer that. Because they are limited in the spectrum of religion. You have to get out of that to know God. But one man only, sort of one religion, came up with the idea of monotheism.
Monotheism. Akhenaten.
Akhenaten.
In the 18th dynasty.
And when he did that, you know how, when people say it's not true, you know how you catch them? Ask them this question. Can you please tell me why there is this coincidence that all the religion of the world, regardless of their culture and their languages and their nationalities, all end up their prayer with amen.
Amen. Amen.
Why?
Amen. Right. It all goes back to Amen. Right.
Thank you.
That's right.
They all have an international conference and decide to end up their prayer as amen? No. It's because all the religion came from that one, that first one. The worshiping of the sun, the God.
So I
don't breathe through your lungs. You only breathe when the oxygen's in the blood. You breathe through your blood, not through your lungs. So that's part of our miseducation, because we actually think we hear with our ears. You hear with your brain. The sound is picked up and put in the blood, and the blood takes it to the brain, and the brain hears. You hear with your brain, you see with your brain, you touch with your brain, you taste with your brain. So we got it. That's part of our miseducation I was telling you about. The organ that takes the most oxygen is your brain. So when you're starving for oxygen, your brain's starving for oxygen. When the brain says, I'm starving, I need more nutrients, so it says, I better step up the estrogen, because estrogen holds moisture and nutrients. So it's going to throw your hormone level off. You see, so I know I got to balance your hormone level, because that's been thrown off. It's just basic kind of science. Anything that's different has a different pH, as they call it. So I had to balance that ratio, because you're suffering with the wrong ratio, because the body says, I'm in a crisis. If I'm in a crisis, I'm going to go dire stress. Not only explain dire stress, you do much better with it than I do.
Under dire stress, your digestive system says, I'm not going to digest food. Your immune system says, I can't fight disease.
That's the I in dire stress. She's just saying D.
The R in dire stress is your reproductive system. You're not going to reproduce anything. And you really, when you're under stress, most sane people don't want to. Your E is your excretory system. Your excretory system is the ability of your body to be able to excrete waste. So when the body's under stress, it can't digest. You have to come out of the stress. And when you come out of the stress, then you can digest the food. And a lot of people get sick because they're under stress. And if you're under stress for long periods of time, say if you've been under stress for 6 months, your digestive system hasn't been working for 6 months. Body is only going to do one thing at a time. You want me to digest this food? Get out of stress.
What we're trying to do is say that the lungs are stressed. Now we know that oil goes to the lungs. So when people smoke, the smoke is carrying the oils, which they call nicotine. The smoke is carrying the cannabinol, and all that goes to the lungs and clogs them up. Well, we know that. We know that things that pull the moisture out of tissue pulls the moisture out of lungs. The body carries waste out that it can't get out the body through peeing, and a bowel movement says, well, I can only pee through the lungs. That's snot. That's the body carrying waste out through snot. and the body carries the waste out and dumps it in your lungs. You see? And it says, that's the way I got to get the waste out. So it dumps it in the lungs, and then you cough to loosen it up and throw it out. That's why I said you just pee in through your lungs. So we got to increase the efficiency of the kidneys to get rid of this waste so it don't have to go to the lungs. You see, so you need something for the kidneys. It sounds, I'm trying to draw the picture here. You say lungs, I better take something for cough and cold. I'm saying, no, you got.
What is doublespeak? Doublespeak is language designed to evade responsibility, make the unpleasant appear pleasant, the unattractive appear attractive. Basically, it's language that pretends to communicate, but really doesn't. It is language designed to mislead while pretending not to. Is it done consciously? Oh, yes, very consciously. Doublespeak is not a slip of the tongue or a mistaken use of language. It's exactly the opposite. It is language used by people who are very intelligent and very sophisticated in the use of language and know that you can do an awful lot with language. Who's the worst offender? In sheer bulk? Yes. Sheer numbers of examples? The government. If we count government from the local level all the way up to the federal level, I had to stop writing the chapter on government doublespeak. It was going to take over the whole book. But interestingly enough, and this was a revelation in doing the book, about a half a step behind comes business with a tremendous amount of doublespeak.
Turn your TV off. TV rots the brain. You're reading and watching a scriptwriter's fantasy where they're trying to get your attention long enough so that you'll suffer the ads, because that's their revenue model. So as I always tell people, if you want to do well in life, take your TV and toss it out the window. If you want to save some money, I'm all for saving money, open the window first, but get rid of that TV.
I'm not like the rest of them, so I'm gonna be alone. I stand for something. Morals mean something to me, so I can't hang with everybody. Yeah. And I found myself lowering who I was so I can be comfortable with other people.
Be very careful who you talk to, because you'll never know who the informant is, who the cooperating witness may be, and you never know, somebody who was a friend today may have been flipped the night before and become your enemy tomorrow.
Exactly. I keep telling women, you only pick the men that you open your legs to. You do not pick the man that goes down on one knee. You don't. So you can make your choices and be free-willed and live up your best city girl life all you want, yeah? But at the end of it, you're not the one that's going to choose whether you're worth to be married or not. So I suggest you actually listen to men when they say what they want to marry.
There's a reason some men go quiet. They've seen too much, felt too deeply, given too many chances that led to disappointment. So they stop talking about their pain. They just carry it. Not because they want to suffer inside.
Women have a hard time taking responsibility. We have a hard time being shown ourselves. And I've come to realize that women are very, very prideful. Like, men have egos, but women are very prideful. And the reason why we have a hard time being shown who we are is because the opposite of pride is shame. And we don't want to feel that shame because it is very painful. Wow. But let me tell you something. You have nothing to be shameful about simply because you're imperfect. We are all imperfect. One of the best gifts you can give your husband is when he says, babe, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I see in you. This is where you can improve. This is the adjustments I think that you can make, is to sit back and think about it and then say, you know what, babe, I can see where I could do better in that area. I'm sorry for making you feel that way. I don't want you to feel that way, right? Eat it, because that's going to give you the relationship you're actually fighting for.
As you become more successful, there are people that don't understand, and they make hurtful or snide comments. Sometimes they're even in your family. And what Sharon and I have learned to do is we have to decide how hurtful and how close that person is. If this is a distant person who just says something that's, you know, just socially weird, and they're just too dumb to know that what they said was hurtful, we just water off a duck's back and let it go. But if this was what we consider to be a close friend who made a comment like that, I would call them out on it.
I don't own a debit card. I've never owned one. I've never allowed my 3 sons to possess one. Certainly and truly the worst financial tool ever given to the American consumer. So a long time ago, I asked myself a simple question: how would I remove 99.9% of my personal liability? So I use the safest form of payment that exists on the face of the earth, and that is a credit card. Credit card. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover card. Not debit credit, but credit card. Every day of my life, I spend their money. I don't spend my money. My money sits in a money market account. It earns interest. Actually, nobody knows where it is because it's not exposed to anybody to find it.
I'm saying that we have a lot of power. We have power to make heaven and hell for our men. And I'm saying, let's try making heaven. Let's try to build him up. If a man has his woman behind him, he will believe he can do anything. And all we need to do is to get our men to believe that they can do anything. And he'll be able to, do much better than he's doing now and come out of the pitiful condition he's in. As I said, I'm not exonerating him. I'm just saying that all of that strength that we have, let's use it in a more positive way instead of just going for self. Nobody told us that all of that being my own person and I'm independent would lead to separation and loneliness. But that's what we had to.
Who is more easily bored in relationships, men or women?
Women.
If women are more easily bored, why are they more likely to want marriage and commitment?
Status.
If women are strong and independent and don't need no man, why does the pressure of marriage and commitment typically come from women?
They're liars.
Women today are a lot more aggressive. We have become what I call men in skirts. We are so aggressive, so demanding, so unaware, really. We think we got it going on, but women really aren't aware of their power because our power as women is silent. I find women to be mean as hell. I'm sorry.
Really?
Oh my gosh. See, I'm an alpha woman, so I'm straightforward too.
Yeah.
But I'm not mean.
Okay. Are you aggressive?
Oh, I'm assertive.
Okay.
I'm not aggressive.
What's the difference?
Well, first of all, your intention. In assertiveness, it's about dominion and accomplishing a particular thing. And aggressive, it's about control and getting what you're going for.
Okay.
Assertion comes from the heart. Aggression comes from the head, and it's ego and control. And women today, I find, are extremely aggressive, unkind, unloving, and mean as hell.
Let me know what you think. Let's go.
Why do so many women today say they don't need a man?
Because we're independent as hell.
If a man has friends, doesn't want kids, hires a maid and hires a prostitute, why would a man need a woman?
What? He can learn one or two things from a woman.
Like what?
Love. Yeah. Love.
Okay, do you think that men are incapable of love without a woman teaching them? Why do women think they're the ones who should define love and emotions?
Because we're more passionate, right? Yeah, we're more passionate.
Where's the evidence of that?
Video this generation all needs to hear. Watch the video all the way through. Let's go.
Backup plan. I don't want to be the person you come to because suddenly you realize I'm great. Yeah. Right? Love is a decision. Commitment is a decision. You don't commit to someone because you go, I'm never going to find anyone better. Because then what happens if you do?
Talk to him.
You commit to someone because you say, I feel it in my bones, I want to be with this person and I'm going to go all in with this person.
Facts.
And whoever comes along in my life from now on, it doesn't matter. It's not about whether someone's better or not. It's about the fact that I've decided to build this relationship.
Women do not know how to manage your emotional responses to you not getting your needs met. You are emotionally abusive.
Talk to him.
If you utilize the knowledge that men respond to women's fawning emotions in order to get what you want from men, you are emotionally manipulative. If a man comes to you and attempts to express to you how it is that he feels outside of when you all having a conflict, because a lot of women, they get real hold up about that. Okay, if a man comes to you and expresses to you something that's bothering him, and it already took him a whole bunch of time to do that, and you lose your or you do emotional gymnastics in order to get back to how it is that you feel about this man bringing something to you, that's emotional manipulation.
Talk to him.
You don't hear nothing about it. You can cut it, slice it however it is you want to dice it. Maybe you're being emotionally manipulative. And you're being emotionally manipulative because society has socialized you to do that in order to extract the non-emotional.
Let me explain to you how the system works. So the first thing is they want us to be in jobs, J-O-Bs, because there they can transduce our most valuable resource, which is our time on the planet. Our effort, but our time on the planet. They can take that non-renewable resource, by the way, and transduce it into a debt instrument, Federal Reserve notes. Things they're not actually worth nothing. They're actually debt instruments. They're IOUs. And the rate of exchange for our time is so low such that they can make a great deal of profit off of leveraging our time so that the companies make money and we make very little for what our time is really worth. Then, do they pay you your full measure? No. They take half of it out as withholding on taxes that are unconstitutionally levied against us to take away even more of that labor transduced into worthless units, only to return it over a year later after inflation has made it even less valuable. Then we spend what's left and have to pay an additional sales tax, 7 to 8, 9, 10%. And one of my favorites is that even before we get those dollars, they take our money and put it aside for a retirement in an IRA or a 401k. And we think that someday in the future, the IRS will honor its word and that we'll get that money back without tax. And the IRS has stated plainly that they'll change those rules on a whim, even though they said they can't be changed. Even if they did honor their word, by the time you get it back, it won't have even made up the value that inflation was degrading it in the first place, and you've lost money. You might as well have just taken the tax hit. And then the pièce de résistance is that media cons us into thinking that we can have the riches of avarice by putting what's left of our money, after all the expenses and taxes, into a market that is designed to take our money and recycle it. And the best part about that is that we can't really deduct those losses more than $3,000 a year, and we will take up to 40% tax hit on the capital gains. Oh yes, and the more money you make, the more it's taxed. Does this seem like a fair system to you? Like there is a wealth strategy planned into having a JOB?
I have a new book for you called Incorporate for Freedom, Corporate Structures of the Elite. It'll show you how we set up the basics, why we do what we do, what's required, and everything else, including taxation and bylaws and minutes and a bunch of other things that are critical to compliance and keeping your corporate veil strong. Just go to the link in my bio, and right now it's on sale, and as far as I'm concerned, at this price, it's virtually free. Given the wealth of information about how the 10-figure corporations do what they do, and how you can do the same. I'll see you inside.
Someone once asked me, what's the difference between school and life? I said, in school, you're taught a lesson and then given a test. But in life, you're given a test that teaches you a lesson.
Your hair's an antenna and communicates directly to your brain. And when you decrease its ability to pick up magnetism, electricity, you're decreasing the vitality of your system. Hair is used to digest food. It's in your stomach and small and large intestines. It's in your ear. When you hear a sound, it's a thing in your ear called a cochlea that has water in it, and the water shakes when you hear sound, and the shaking of the water shakes the hair and turns the sound into a chemical. Then you have hair in your eyes, which we call rods and cones, and that's how you see color in black and white. And the retina stimulates this rods and cones, and that's how you see by the hair. That's how you see, that's how you digest. That's how things work with hair. So you really don't want to do anything to your hair. When you losing hair and your hair is brittle and all that stuff, you're losing hair everywhere. It's a big problem there. So what I'm talking about is people are thinking that you think that when you see me, that you see me, but you don't see me. The impulse strikes your retina and turns seeing into a liquid, and the liquid floats through your blood to your brain. So seeing is a liquid. Hearing is a liquid. We're not looking at this liquid thing, which we call the mother principle. Amniotic fluid and all that kind of stuff. So we're not looking at, we're taught that you're just seeing me, but it's a liquid that's telling you that you're seeing me, that floats in your blood to your brain. You hear with water, you see with water. You were born in water.
Don't get too cocky, my boy, no matter how good you are. Don't ever let them see you coming. That's the gaff, my friend. You gotta keep yourself small, innocuous, and be the little guy.
There's some good men out there. But what it is now, it's the women. It ain't the men no more. The women's gone bad. The women's gone bad. It ain't the men's now. It's the women done gone bad.
You gonna flip the script on us?
Yeah, it's the women done gone bad.
You a woman yourself.
I'm a woman myself, but I don't do half the things I see these women do now.
They don't care no more.
That's when the men don't respect them. That's why. Let me tell you something, Amber. You got to give a man respect to get respect. You know what I'm saying? You got to give your husband respect to get respect. Because as long as you respect him, ain't too much he gonna do wrong.
Here's what changed my life and helped me make my first fortune. Profits are better than wages. Profits are better than wages. Wages make you a living, which is fine. Profits make you a fortune, which is super fine.
Life has made me so quiet. I just want to listen. No more talking. No more arguing. No more explaining. Just silence.
What's the best advice you would give to your younger self?
If a bird lands on the branch, does the bird trust the branch or does it trust its wings? And the clue, I've seen many birds land on branches, but what I've never seen is a branch break and a bird fall and die. Trust your wings.
Wow.
But I know I can't resist it. Oh, I love it and I hate it at the same time.
Women absorb energy and men actually give energy. The word mentally ill starts with men, meaning if you sleep with too many men, you become mentally ill.
That's how quick people change up on you, brother. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said you can turn devil overnight. What does it mean? That your mind can be snatched by an evil force or power if you're weak-minded.
Be very careful when somebody uses what they know about you to try to take away what's great about you.
Everybody talks to me like I'm the one. I should change. Why should I change? I've never even got to find out who I am. You want me to change? That's crazy.
Of headaches. Remember, headaches, guys, remember this. There are no pain receptors in the brain. Brain surgery is painless. Right? So the brain is not capable of sending a pain signal. So where does the signal come from? It comes from the covering of the brain called the dura. The dura hates two things. It hates being stretched and it hates being contracted. 85% of all the migraine sufferers that I've ever treated had a simple clinical deficiency in sodium. I have them drink salt water and their headaches go into permanent remission. Because we are not hydrated when we have water in our blood. We're hydrated when we have water in our tissues. And what determines whether or not water leaves the blood and enters the tissue is the sodium gradient. It's called osmosis. So if we actually restore the sodium gradient, that dura starts to relax and the pain goes away.
In 160 seconds, you will decide how this story ends. This is a story about us, the indoor generation. A generation that spends 90% of its life indoors. It all started the day we left nature behind. We filled our homes with lovely things and all the stuff we wanted. Our homes became places you would never want to leave. Artificial light replaced daylight, and we built our houses so that nothing could escape. We cooked and showered, breathed and played, slept and sweated. But we had closed ourselves in to a point where nothing could get out. So when the air turned bad inside, we tried fixing it with chemicals. And we put in little artificial suns everywhere to make the darkness bearable. That's when things started to happen. Hard to notice in the beginning.
Hitler kills 2 million white people. He is the most evil man that ever lived. Leopold kills 20 million Africans. He still does not appear on the list of the most wicked people that ever lived on the earth. There must be something wrong with this narrative. Totally something wrong with that narrative. It can be right by day, by night, by numbers, by mathematics, by ethnography. It cannot be right. That the whole world watches the massacre of black people and says nothing.
It is like all forms of government.
Somebody must rule.
And I don't like the word rule.
Well, if we don't like the word rule, let's call it leadership.
Leadership in government is political power, and political power is an official form of antagonizing the people.
But
My dear young man, politics are.
Listen to me. Politics are rules imposed upon the people.
In this country, rules are not imposed. They are the wish of all free citizens.
Travel around a bit, then you'll see how free they are.
Yes, but you didn't let me finish.
They have every man in a straitjacket. And without a passport, he can't move a toe.
But if you'll allow me to...
In a free world, they violate the natural rights of every citizen.
But you don't let me put it...
They have become the weapons of political despots.
Yes, but may I...
And if you don't think as they think, you're deprived of your passport.
Will you allow me
to leave a country is like breaking out of jail. Yes. And to enter a country is like going through the eye of a needle. Am I free to travel?
Of course you're free to travel.
Only with the passport.
Will you allow me to say something?
Only with the passport. Do animals need passports?
Have you finished?
It's incumbent that in this atomic age of speed, we are shut in and shut out by passports.
If you'll shut up and let somebody else talk...
And free speech, does that exist?
No, you've got it all.
You got a man, but you going to spend the night with your friend? I don't think so. When you're in a relationship, you can't do shit.
Why can't you do stuff like that?
Why the hell do you want to go stay the night with your damn friend? And you got a damn man at home.
Why should I eat more live and raw foods? Because the electricity is there. That's why, because you're an electrical being. That's why people have better improvements. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else, electricity. That's the name of the game. The neural system is dealing with your brain, how it actually sends electrical signals all through the body. So your body is electrical. Just to move your feet, that was an electrical signal. It made that signal for it to move. But it goes so fast, bam, it's there. So you got this system on you, this electrical system. And it's hard for the average human being to realize, I'm using electricity? Yeah, not at the voltage like you're going to go put your hand in the socket at home. Don't do that. Somebody will try it. I'm electricity, all right. But you're still using the same forces. And even dealing with the technology, dealing with solar. Of course, we know now that we can put things in the sun, charge it up by using harnessing electricity from the sun. But now there's one man who got a good invention going on, because people will say, well, how about when it's no sunny days, the sun ain't going to do me no good. He's creating a machine now that could get more of the electricity out of the atmosphere, because it's there. But now they're finally catching up to get a machine to do that. First, the people got to connect with the life force energy that this world we live in actually... Why should I eat more live and raw foods? Because the electricity is there. That's why, because you're an electrical being. That's why people have better improvements. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else, electricity. That's the name of the game. The neural system is dealing with your brain, how it actually sends electrical signals all through the body. So your body is electrical. Just to move your feet, that was an electrical signal. It made that signal for it to move. But it goes so fast, bam, it's there. So you got this system on you, this electrical system. And it's hard for the average human being to realize, I'm using electricity? Yeah, not at the voltage like you're going to go put your hand in the socket at home. Don't do that.
How do you know if a girl really into you or not?
I tell my sons all the time, there's two types of women in this world. One you have fun with, and the one you marry. Go out there and have fun with them. Ones you have fun with. I ain't gonna call them out their name.
But look, Mama, what if the one that we having fun with acting like the one we should marry, then what?
Okay, they're gonna act like the one you want, or the one you need to marry, because they want what you have. They want you to wine and dine them. But if you see them sitting up there, if that woman have been passed around like a nigga passing a blunt around,
like a blunt
let her go. But if that woman sitting up there, you gonna know when it's your wife material, okay? Have fun with her. I ain't telling you not to have fun with her. You need to have that fun in your life. So when God send that one you marry, you know that God is sending you a good thing.
And straight like this.
As a businessman, sir, what do you do? I do business. I deal on deals. If you have a good deal, you get it to me. If I like it, I buy your deal. If you have money to buy my own, I give you my deal, you pay. And that's business.
What's up for deal? Give us example.
Look, there are people who work for their money, and there are others who make their money work for them. I belong to the class that make my money work for me. So if you want to know what deals, you ask my money.
We go to Nigeria, which is, if not the most corrupt nation in Africa, and it is,
It could be the most corrupt nation in the world, Minister Farrakhan.
Oh, now, Mr. Wallace.
It is the most corrupt nation that I have ever covered. I've been there 25 years ago, and I've been there as recently as last year.
Fine. So what? 35 years old. That's what that nation is. Now, here's America, 226 years old. You love democracy? But there in Africa, you're trying to force these people into a system of government that you just have accepted. 30 years ago, black folk got the right to vote. You're not in any moral position to tell anybody how corrupt they are. You should be quiet and let those of us who know our people go there and help them get out of that condition. But America should keep her mouth shut wherever there's a corrupt regime, as much hell as America has raised on the earth. No, I will not allow America, or you, Mr. Wallace, to condemn them as the most corrupt nation on earth when you have spilled the blood of human beings. Has Nigeria dropped an atomic bomb and killed people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? Have they killed off millions of Native Americans? How dare you put yourself in that position as a moral judge? I think you should keep quiet, because with that much blood on America's hands, you have no right to speak. I will speak because I don't have that blood on my hand. Yes, there's corruption there. Yes, there's mismanagement of resources. Yes, there is abuse. There's abuse in every nation on earth, including this one. So let's not play holy to moralize on them. Let's help them.
I'm not moralizing. I'm asking a question, and I got an answer.
Why would you put it as the most corrupt regime in the world? That doesn't make sense.
Can you think of one more corrupt?
Yeah, I'm living in one. I'm living in one. Yes, you've done a hell of a thing on this earth, so you should not be the one to talk. You should be quiet when it comes to moral condemnation, in my judgment. I didn't mean to be so fiery.
No, that's good. That's good.
That's my passion.
Your price is too high.
You have a nice day, James.
400.
550.
450.
525. That's it. Yes or no? And if it's no, that's any further communications goes right into my trash can.
It's a deal.
Before I leave, what would you have paid?
600. Then you would have taken
475.
So we made a good deal.
Actually, I lied. I would have taken 4.
Your price is too high.
You have a nice day, James.
400.
550.
450.
525. That's it. Yes or no? And if it's no, that's any further communications goes right into my trash can.
It's a deal.
Before I leave, what would you have paid?
600. Then you would have taken
475.
So we made a good deal.
Actually, I lied. I would have taken 4.
Watch as this professor transforms a glass of water into an eye-opening life lesson.
How heavy is this glass of water? Melissa, would you care to answer?
8 ounces.
The absolute weight of the glass doesn't matter. It depends on how long I hold on to it. If I hold it for a minute, nothing happens. If I hold it for an hour, my arm will begin to ache. If I hold it all day long, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. Well, the weight of the glass hasn't changed, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses and the worries of life are like this glass of water. If you think about them for a little while, there's no problem. If you think about it for a little bit longer, it begins to hurt. Think about them all day long, and you'll feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Always remember, put the glass down.
New store in New York City. Anybody heard about the new store in New York City? It's
called the husband store. And you can go there and shop for a husband. There's 6 floors in this store. You can only visit each floor one time, though. And each floor you go up, the value increases. You may choose any item from any particular floor, but you can go up a floor, but you cannot go back down. So there was a woman who went to the husband store to find herself a husband. On the first floor, the sign on the door read, "These men have jobs." That sounded good. These men have jobs. Floor 2 says, "These men have jobs and love kids." Floor number 3 said, "These men have jobs, love kids, and are extremely good looking." Wow, she thought, this is sounding pretty good, but I'm compelled to go on to the next floor. Well, she does go to the 4th floor, and the sign reads, "These men have jobs, love kids, are drop-dead, good-looking, and they help with the housework." "Oh, mercy me," she said, "I can hardly stand it." Still, she said, "I've got to go on." She went to the 5th floor. "These men have jobs, love kids, are drop-dead, gorgeous, help with the housework, and have a very strong romantic streak." But she couldn't stand it. She decided she had to just find out what was on floor number 6. Floor number 6 said, "You are visitor 31,456. To this floor, there are no men on this floor. This floor exists solely as proof that women are impossible to please."
Believe in yourselves. Dream. Try. Do good.
Don't you mean do well?
No, I mean do good.
You spend your time chasing butterflies, they'll fly away. But if you spend your time making a beautiful garden, the butterflies will come to you. When you focus on improving yourself, everything you want will come to you. We attract based on who we are, not what we want. Don't chase, attract.
And here's my best advice. Welcome all experiences. You never know which one is going to turn everything on. Don't put up the walls. The same wall that keeps out disappointment keeps out happiness. Take down the walls. Go for the experience. Let it teach you.
G-O-D, an English word that is not somebody's name, but somebody's nature. G-O-D, generator, operator, destroyer, is the codex inscriptus of these 3 letters. Abbreviations. The brain is the generator of electricity and power. The soul is the operator of self that navigates, propels you through your life on this plane and the next. The destroyer factor is found in the sacral vertebrae, where the upcoming Kundalini, Sanskrit term for cosmic fire, and the coils that hook you up. It allows you to obtain everlasting life. That's what you're trying to do, is acquire those 3 states of consciousness. Not go to heaven, not just get baptized, not just get a white robe. You're trying to raise up something in self that makes you everlasting, that you grow into the Son of God, S-O-N and S-U-N.
If you don't like how it is for you, change it. If it doesn't suit you, change it. If it doesn't please you, change it. If it isn't enough, change it. And I challenge you to do that because you can change. See, you don't ever have to be the same again after tonight, only by choice. If you don't like your present address, change it. You're not a tree. Let's make a list of the diseases of attitude that can wreck all your chances to do well. One of the words that destroys everything is called neglect. Neglect. And I found this out. A week of neglect could cost you a year of repair. It isn't worth it. Now here's the first lesson of economics. Everybody should learn it from the time they're old enough to understand what a dollar means. How to earn one, how to get one, how to keep one, what to do with it. First lesson of economics. We primarily get paid for value. Bringing value to the marketplace, that's how you get paid. You don't get paid for the time. I know it takes time to bring value to the marketplace, but you get paid for the value.
And did you believe in God?
Oh, yes.
Do you now believe in God? Now? Difficult to answer. I know. I don't need to believe. I know.
You must listen very carefully to your enemies, because sometimes they tell you the truth that you do not want to hear but need.
Any single person who tells you that they know what happens to a human being after they have died is either a liar or a fool.
Can you repeat your question?
Yes, with pleasure. We have seen pictures of you applauding the flogging of policemen. We have seen and heard stories, many of them, which are all validated, of thousands and tens of thousands of Asians being evicted from your country. You took their property, you didn't pay them. Is that your wave of the future? Is that all the love you're mentioning all this time?
I think you believe in rumors, and some of this picture, it is not might be from Uganda. I think the people whom I sent away of the British citizens, they were controlling 99 economy of Uganda, all business, industries, and everything. And on top of that, I requested them when I took over in 1971. The power was handed over to me by the members of the armed forces. I asked them to apply for Uganda citizenship. They refused. And they control 99% of the economy. And the whole money they are getting, they don't bank this money in Uganda. They bank this money outside Uganda. And I am sure if they were still up to now, Uganda could have been bankrupt completely. And therefore there is no other opportunity. The only opportunity was to take that decision for the interest of the people of Uganda. And then I took that decision, but I said that I will pay the compensation, and which I have written to the all government concerned. I'm sure the United States, I have already paid them cash, and I have written to government of United Kingdom, and the discussion is going on. And I have also written to India, which they have got a few Indians. I'm sure the delegation will be coming from India and to discuss with the government of Uganda, and we shall pay. We don't say that we cannot pay, but some of the other point which you are saying, it is not true at all. You will find that Uganda is one of the best countries in the world.
Watch people, because you can fake for a long time, but one day you're going to show yourself to be a phony.
That's for sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what these, a lot of people are doing these days. What I want people to know is that don't support the phonies. Support the real. Be to yourself. Stay to yourself. Trust nobody. Trust nobody. Fear is stronger than love. Remember that. Fear is stronger than love. All the love I gave didn't mean nothing when it came to fear.
And women today, like the modern women, they want the aesthetics of what a man is, but they actually don't want a man because they don't want to be submissive. And I know that's a word thrown out there. Women get scared of that.
Explain what you mean by submissive for those unaware.
Submissive as in respect. Being the peace, the calm, always, right? So if a lion is roaring, you have to learn how to quiet, So it's just like Women don't want to be submissive. Women don't want to be corrected. We're the only nation of women that say they don't need a man, and you have all these other nations. Those women aren't saying that because they know the greatness and the importance of a man being around, not just financially, but for beyond that. It's beyond finances. It's for the structure. It's for the balance.
The one thing that I learned when I was poor, and this is something that people just need to say out loud, okay, is that you are invisible. Nobody sees you.
Will? Please, can I talk to you for a moment? Just a moment of your time. For 16 years, that's pretty cheap.
What do you want?
I want to come back.
No.
I have no excuse. I deserve anything you do to me. I'm just begging you to be kind.
Stuart, become unlovable now that he's out of my job.
I never loved Stuart. It was a mistake, Will. I'm going to talk to him. Stuart never for one moment meant anything to me.
And you think that makes it better? That you betrayed me over and over again with a man that meant nothing to you? To know that you betrayed me for nothing?
Don't be such a smug.
Don't touch me. And keep away.
So we do have some time now for questions from the audience. I wonder if we should just take a few, and then we can respond to them all together. So, okay.
Thank you. I have a question. What's the difference between the U.S. debt and the debt that African nations own? Because the U.S. debt doesn't keep the U.S. from being one of the leading powers of the world, but then African nations can't make it because of that debt that is strangling them.
Should I talk? Okay. The first question is a very important question. What makes African and third world debt different from the American debt? Number one, America is never going to pay its debts. It doesn't have to. Its debts are in its own currency. We can simply print it. The African debt is not in its currency. The African debt is in U.S. dollars. Africa has to earn the U.S. dollars, and the only way it can earn the U.S. dollars is not to be assassinated for growing its own food and becoming independent and doing something that the United States does not like. The principle underlying the foundation of the World Bank, the International Bank for IBRD, research, the World Bank, is that no country should grow its own food. Africa and the third world should only grow export crops. To export, in order to have an oversupply of cocoa and other tropical raw materials, to keep down the price, they must buy their grain from the United States or Europe, so that if they do something that we don't like, we can do what America tried to do to China in the 60s. We can sanction them. We can say, we're going to starve you. We're going to not export any grain to you. So owing their foreign debt in dollars means that they have to somehow sell something that the United States wants, not what they want. I think the most evil organizations in the world today are the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. And my book, Super Imperialism, that I wrote in 1972, is all about that. The largest purchasers of the book were the Defense Department and the CIA. I was immediately, the organization I worked for was given a $75,000, $85,000 Defense Department contract for me to come to explain to them how American imperialism worked, and they used it as a how to do it book. They thought it was just...
If you're a woman, you have to watch this.
And the truth is, sleeping with a man does change you. That's the truth. And so women don't want to accept that.
They don't.
You have to understand these things. If you are going to engage in something, you have to understand the results of it. You can't deny it. Right? You can't deny that once a man penetrates you, your body will change. Your mind will change.
Yeah. And you sleeping with multiple men, this is the reason why women are mentally ill. And what I came to the conclusion
I believe that.
No, women really are mentally ill. Mm-hmm. So women want to keep saying that oxytocin is the love hormone. That's a fucked up perspective, because love is not a chemical. What oxytocin really is a sedative. It is a sedative that helps sedate women so that they can endure more pain. So when women sleep with men, oxytocin is released to put this woman in a state of sedation. And she, at this point, she is willing to accept things that actually cause the reason why men can't tolerate the stuff that women tolerate is simply because of oxytocin. And then estrogen actually increases the effects of oxytocin, making women more susceptible to pain. Men release vasopressin, which actually deters them from enduring pain, right? So women have connected the idea to love with their ability to endure pain. That's the reason why Charleston White said, oh, love ain't what you give, it's what you can take, and our mothers took a lot. Men have also decided that love is how much a woman can endure, right? So as long as...
That's why they want you to be loyal. That's why they want you to be loyal.
So as long as women keep having sex with men, women will continue to be disillusioned and make dumb decisions, which is the reason why men do not think women are capable of leadership. Women are capable of leadership. Women think the relationship is all about them. They do. Everything is centered around what she wants. And if that's fine, in her mind, everything is cool. And she does not care what the man is going through. She don't care what his challenges are, or any of those things. So what ends up happening, the male believes that he keeps the marriage together because if he goes to cheat or whatever, like those 41 shades, for different reasons, they left you with the marriage because the marriage was all you wanted. You didn't actually want the man. You wanted the marriage. The fairy tale. You wanted the fairy tale. So the man feels that he gave you what you wanted. You wanted the marriage. You wanted the money. You wanted the kids. You wanted all of this crap. And never consider what he's mentally going through. Never considers what he invests into the relationship. A lot of men deal with this. And so what they end up doing is getting things outside of the relationship. And what? The woman is still mad.
When a man is disrespected, it takes him to, gosh, it takes him to a different realm. When a husband is not respected by his wife or a father by his children, it depletes him. It takes him to a whole different realm. That's why we have to be very, very careful as wives and as daughters to our dads that we encourage and we uplift our husbands and our dads, because that's what encourages them to be a better man.
Women don't live in reality.
a lot of women are very, very, very delusional. And so they have these ideas about men in their head, what they want these men to be. It's like they got a movie and they have a cast, and there's a role for this knight in shining armor that's going to sweep her off her feet and worship her and only her for eternity. His eyes see nobody else but her. His phallus sees nobody else but her. And so she wants that man. She finds a man that she likes. She creates this picture. She's driven by sex, and she wants to trap that man to worship her for eternity. Women don't listen to men. Women think that men were created to serve them. So if you ain't serving them, they don't want to hear nothing you got to say, because at the end of the day, women think that this is we need to teach males to do this. Women want men to be women. Women want society to transform a male into a female. Women hate women. Women hate each other. But they want to get a man and then make him embody all of the characteristics of a woman.
It was proved at the turn of the century that the human body is almost 80%, 90% water, and it's also got electrolytes in it, which we know to be salt, potassium, different minerals. That means we're a salt battery. No different than the car battery, different than something like that. And there's a patent actually called the Cali patent, which I'll hold up here for the camera to see. And this patent actually was developed in 1897, and not much has been done with it, because at that time everyone was afraid of electricity. In this case, Dr. Clark developed a product using a 9-volt battery. And I'll just show you in the back here. There it is, 9-volt battery. And this particular unit, you just snap on your wrist with 2 wristbands.
We only have a minute. Yeah.
You snap it on your wrist just to prove that I'm a circuit. I push the little green light, and the thing is on. And if I put my hands together, you can hear that I'm a circuit, and I'm a closed circuit at this point. Now with
Why
that,
do we get a sound when you put your hands together?
because I've closed the circuit. Now when I take my hands apart, obviously the electricity is now being able to flow through the body. The electricity can't go through the digestive tract, so in the digestive tract, to kill the microorganisms, the specific parasites, she's found the effectiveness of the black walnut, what the native Indians used for cleansing many years ago. The black walnut, in its green hull form, kills many of the microorganisms, and in conjunction with another product called wormwood and cloves, typical cloves that you would get at the store, these 3 in combination have the ability to go in and kill all the pathogens.
Question is, can you tell me like everything I need to know?
Yes, I can. And I've already actually said it. Everything you need to know is this. Truly, this. Whatever options are available to you at any given moment, choose the one that contains more excitement than any other, even if it's just a little bit more. Act on it to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further. Do this with integrity. Do this with absolutely no assumption, no insistence on what the outcome ought to be or how it should look or how you should get there whatsoever. When you do that 3-part formula, act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on the outcome, you open up and activate the kit, the toolkit of excitement. The toolkit contains everything you need to be supported in life in whatever form it needs to come in, the driving engine that moves you through life, the organizing principle of synchronicity that allows you to do what you need to do when you need to do it in perfect timing, in perfect order. It becomes the path of least resistance that allows you to flow through your life effortlessly. It becomes the path that connects you to all other expressions of your excitement, even if they don't look like they're connected on the surface. It's the excitement that tells you that they are. And it becomes the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything within your consciousness that might be out of alignment with that excitement, so that you can identify those definitions that don't work for you and let them go and add their energy to your excitement and continue to expand. And then any circumstance whatsoever, any situation whatsoever that arises from those actions, no matter how it looks, if you give it a positive meaning, you will only get a positive and beneficial effect, regardless of how the situation may have originated, regardless of anyone else's opinion or experience in that situation. That's it. That's all you need to know. Now, many people on your planet choose to complicate things beyond that and make them more difficult, but they don't have to. If they do, then that's their process. But it all comes down to understanding that what you believe to be true, what you define to be true, is how you experience your reality. And that your beliefs generate your feelings, your thoughts, and your behaviors. So anytime you have a behavior you don't prefer, a thought you don't prefer, a feeling you don't prefer, you can always trace it back down the line to something you must believe to be true that you're not aware of. Find out what that belief and definition is. When you identify it, if it's out of alignment with your true self, you will find that it will suddenly be nonsensical and illogical, and you'll drop it and let it go. If you don't drop it, if you still behave the same way, you haven't found the deeper belief yet. Keep digging.
Excellence is difficult, but to be mediocre, it's no pressure.
My mother is number one, number two, always will be, and every other number. My mother comes before everyone else and everything else. I'm not a member of anything. I'm a child of my mother.
Hey, how's your girl, man?
She left me.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom died too. And my dad got deported. But I got the bag.
Nice.
Yeah, right?
I don't believe men hang in groups. I think little boys do. Insecure little boys group up. A man go get him a woman, a strong man. And then I ain't no soldier. I'm a warrior.
There's an expiration date on loyalty. The grass is high. You cut that grass low in your life and the snakes will be revealed.
3 things the black man especially got to be aware of. Money and opportunity. When the devil comes, he come at you with one of those 3, sometime all 3. And if you ain't true to what you claim you about, you gonna fall victim. I'm sorry for you brothers that's going through it, but to your own self, you got to be true. Is this how you want to teach your sons when they come up, bang, and leave them? Or if you get a wife, we had to have learned something from those who went before us who did all of this. And we still playing the same dumb game. Wasn't you instructed that the last trick the devil will use will be his woman? You think you pulling her, he giving her to you. That's part of the plan. And you fell for it. Wake up, keep your thing in your pants, and you can keep your money in your pocket. Stop acting like a hood rat and start acting like the king that you is.
You didn't know that you didn't know, part 9. 75% of the mass of a human brain is made up of a substance called myelin. And myelin is made up 100% by cholesterol. I'll leave it there. On a separate and completely unrelated subject, Alzheimer's disease is a neurodegenerative brain disease which destroys brain cells. Now, Alzheimer's never existed until 1979, and yet now it is one of the leading causes of death in Western societies. On a separate and completely unrelated subject, margarine was first invented in 1869 because Napoleon wanted a cheaper and longer lasting fat for his armies to travel with. It didn't gain popularity until the Second World War, when butter and other animal fats were scarce. It grew in popularity in the 50s, but by the 70s the animal fats in it had been replaced with vegetable oils, because obviously animal fats contain saturated fat and a lot of cholesterol, so they wanted to offer a lower cholesterol alternative. I'll leave it there. On a separate and completely unrelated subject, margarine is one molecule away from being plastic. Now, as any chemist will tell you, one molecule can make a huge difference to the finished compound. Take ethanol and methanol, for example. One molecule difference, but very, very, very different results when ingested into the human body. Right? So I'll leave it there. On a separate and completely unrelated subject, a simple experiment to do at home is to take a slab of butter, a slab of vegetable margarine with no animal fats in, and a slab of plastic, and stick them all outside in your garden and have a look what happens. very quickly all the wildlife in the area is going to be attracted to that butter, from the flies and the beetles and the mini beasts through the birds, the rodents, all the way up to the apex predators, foxes, badgers, bears. If there happens to be no other wildlife around, then bacteria and mold will very, very quickly consume it because it's easily digestible for all organic life forms. The margarine and the plastic will sit there for weeks. Nothing in nature will touch them. Try it. I'll leave it there.
Lie on a bed or relax in a chair and imagine that you are sleepy. Then, with eyelids closed and your attention focused on the action you intend to experience, in imagination, mentally feel yourself right into the proposed action, imagining all the while that you are actually performing the action here and now. You must always participate in the imaginary action, not merely stand back and look on, but you must feel that you are actually performing the action so that the imaginary sensation is real to you.
When you go shopping, or when you go to buy a new car, you are not buying with money. You are buying with the time of your life that you have spent to earn that money. So whatever junk you are buying, you're paying for it with your life. We need to be a little more greedy and appreciate our lives more.
If you feel like you don't want to give it to him, guess what? Don't ask him where he's going. Don't ask him where you've been. If you're not interested, cool. Let him go do his thing then.
Women keep women single. Single women cannot stand when any of their friends get into a relationship because they need their friends to support their bad behavior. This is even worse when a woman is married. A married woman's single friend will do everything and anything in their power to get the friend to leave her marriage. Anything the married woman shared with her single friends, the single friends will find a way to get her to view it in a negative way. Anything the man does will be criticized and scrutinized. It is the goal of single women to get her friend in a relationship or a marriage or to leave so that the women can be single again. That is why I always say all the time that women sabotage each other's relationships.
Parents are a pair who rents. Because you don't own your child, you sign them away using a signature. You signed your nature with a sigil. A sigil is a symbol used in witchcraft. Oh my God! You are born into this world, and the word born comes from barren, which means lifeless, dull, and boring. Then you are controlled by the government, the governed mentality. They control your mind. Everything physical began as a thought in the thinking mind. The mind is the root cause of reality, so they control your mind, not your body. They do this by broadcasting spells to north, east, west, and south, the news. My God! Wow! Then they teach you the vowels in this specific order, A, E, I, O, U. To teach you that you owe them to become a slave. You are weak in the weekdays because you are working. Where you were a king, you are no longer a king if you are working. Then on the weekend, you are weakened from the weekdays. Days is a daze where you are in a state of confusion. The television is used to tell a vision, to program you on the programs. They want you to think slaughter is laughter, hello is hell is low. Words are swords because they mold your mind. They also create three-dimensional sound waves which impacts the fabric of matter. I believe that we were never meant to use words. Language has been manipulated so that we no longer use telepathy because we are all connected on the mental plane. We still have...
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for?
Hello. My name is Montague William III. And what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and a big industry. For many a year we have controlled your lives, while you all just struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need, your sports cars and fashions and plasma TVs. I remember it clearly how all this begun. Family secrets from father to son. Inherited knowledge that gives me the edge, while you people lie sleeping at night in your beds. We control the money that controls your lives. Whilst you worship false idols and wouldn't think twice about selling your souls for a place in the sun, these things that won't matter when your time is done. But as long as they're there to control the masses, I just sit back and consider my assets.
Talk.
I was very manipulative.
What did that look like for a woman to be manipulative?
Oh, I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. And I'm going to act like I'm so in love with you. But the truth is, I don't love you, because to love somebody, you have to respect them. And respect comes from trust. I can't respect something I can't trust.
Wow.
Right?
Oh.
And even though respect is given and trust is earned, they go hand in hand. They're in tandem.
Yeah.
So manipulation looks like, nah, the truth is, we're dating and I'm comfortable here, but I know I'm not going to settle here because you're loyal to me, but I'm loyal to myself.
Oh my.
So you never felt connection, you only felt attachment. And now I understand from this whole catch and release generation that the fact that I am starving you and depriving you of emotional fulfillment and spiritual security, and I am depriving you of the desire that you have to take it to the next level, the covenant. Do you know how many people asked me to marry them and I laughed? Like, oh, would you marry? Not ask me, like get down on a knee, but hey, so would you get married? No, I don't think so. No. And it's funny because then when I got saved, that's all I want. Isn't it funny?
Oh my gosh.
The very thing you hate, you become.
Wow.
You were telling people that you can cure AIDS, sickle cell, lupus, herpes, blindness, diabetes, paralysis, and others. When I told my mama that I had cured my 13 AIDS patient, she said, "They gonna get you. They gonna get you."
So they come knocking on the door and
So knocked on my door and took me to jail.
Charged, indicted, and taken before the New York Supreme Court. You won that case.
The judge said that I had to bring one of every patient that I had cured. I was supposed to take 9. I took 77. There's only one disease. Not 2, not 3, 1. When I opened my big black mouth and told the judge that, oh my God. "What did you say?" I said, "Your Honor, there's only one disease." The judge said, "What is it?" I said, "Your Honor, when someone has sinusitis, what is obstructing the nasal passage?" She said, "Mucus." And when another has bronchitis, what is obstructing the bronchial tube? She said, "Mucus." And when another has pneumonia, what's covering the cells of the lungs? She said, "Mucus." Where is the mucus? It's in the skin, it's in the blood, and the lymphatic system that makes up the immunological system. That is where you find the mucus.
Stop talking about your relationship to other people.
Yeah.
Here is the best advice I ever got. When you get married, form a two-handed circle. Don't let nobody else in that circle. Because if you let your mama in, she gonna mess it up. You can't let your friends in, they gonna mess it up. Form a two-handed circle, don't let nobody in it. You good.
I had to become a Freemason because you can't get involved in Satanism on the hardcore level without first being a Freemason. That was my official shrine portrait, which they took as part of my initiation. I was ready to become involved in hardcore Satanism. What did that mean? Well, that meant I had to sell my soul to the devil. I had to sign my name on the contract in blood. I had to sign my name in the black book. You gotta understand something. The satanic doctrine here is that hell is not what we believe it is, or what the Bible teaches it is. The satanic doctrine is that hell is this incredible party. It's like a non-stop, all-eternity orgy. So you're smoking dope, you're fornicating your brains out, you're listening to rock and roll through all eternity. And it's party-hardy time. And before I could get onto the priesthood of Satanism, excuse me, I had to get 7 people to sell our souls to the devil. The other thing I had to do, and this might astonish some of you, is I had to become a Catholic priest. I had to go back to my original vocation, because you cannot be a satanic priest unless, first of all, you're a Catholic priest. And if that surprises you, I just suggest that you go and you read some of the medieval literature. You'll see that that is in fact the case. Masons are like homosexuals. They can't reproduce themselves naturally. They can only, yeah, amen, they can only recruit. You know, think of that. That's the way with every cult. If you know someone who's a Mason, or if you yourself are a Mason, realize that when you kneel at the altar of Masonry as an entered apprentice, and you take that oath, you are adopted into the family of Lucifer at that moment. Now, you don't probably know that. I did. But most people don't even know that. And as a result, if you're a Christian, and mind you, there are pastors that are doing this, there are deacons that are doing this, there are countless Christian lay people that are doing this. You cannot serve two masters. And if you understood the profound relationship between witchcraft and Freemasonry, you would know what that cord, that cable tow meant, because they've got a rope around their neck. And what that means in witchcraft and the occult is that is a symbol of the umbilical cord of the mother goddess, the Queen of Heaven, linking her to her hidden child. So this guy has just been born again by the Queen of Hell, the consort of Lucifer. Every Mason has this happen to them. And they don't understand the dynamics, probably 99 out of 100, but they still go through it.
The number one product you could use to support healthy, thick hair is not turmeric, it's not ginger, and it's definitely not blueberries. If your scalp feels tight when you brush your hair, if you're shedding more than usual in the shower, if your ponytail feels thinner than it used to, that's not aging. Maybe you've been experiencing these symptoms for years and your doctors know about them, but they will never tell you that this is a warning sign of something deeper going on in your body. And the craziest part? It's all linked to this one problem. 60% of women struggling with hair loss have this, but doctors won't tell you because keeping you insecure makes them billions of dollars. As you age, your body stops producing the nutrients that fuel hair growth. Your follicles shrink, your scalp gets inflamed, your strands weaken. But there's a natural healer I've been recommending for years to the people who come to me at 40, 50 years old, exhausted, in pain, and frustrated. And 3 weeks later, they always come back in tears, thanking me because they feel like a new person. Their faces have changed, they're much happier, and they look much better. And just one dose of this natural healer could help you restore volume, strengthen strands, boost growth, nourish your scalp, slow shedding, and most importantly, finally feel confident looking in the mirror again. So what is this natural healer? It's Forchik's Hair Growth Spray, a powerful blend of biotin, vitamins A, C, D, E, B6, B12, plus iodine, zinc, and inositol, key nutrients that help restore what your hair needs to grow stronger, fuller, and healthier like it did in your 20s. But before you go buy any hair formula just because it lists these nutrients, there's one thing you need to know. Most hair products are overpriced, overhyped, and missing the core ingredients your hair actually needs. To make sure you're getting a clean, effective formula, it must be certified by independent laboratories in the United States. The only brand I trust that meets this standard is Forchik. Most brands that claim to be pure sneak in cheap fillers and synthetic additives just to cut costs.
There is no reason why you should not know why you exist. I mean, you know, there's a funny thing. If you look around this room, just do it with me, everything you'll see in this room, you'll know what its purpose is. Now look at the person next to you. I mean, even down to a screw in this chair, you'll know what it's for. But the screw, I mean, the person sitting here, Father Don. People don't know what they're for. You don't know what you're here for. You don't know what you're doing. You're supposed to raise children or what for? Go to work for what? Everybody that's ever done this are in cemeteries, and whoever knows they even got here. So what's your purpose? You should know what your purpose in life is. You should know why there's a planet. You should know why there's a universe. Why does it all happen? What's it all for? And the unfortunate part is most people have no idea. And in order for you to know and for you to understand, things are going to happen to you that are going to cause you to break from the traditional establishment that you've been plugged into all of your life. And that's scary for a lot of people.
Business, not from college. I learned about business from a book called The Dummy's Guide to Starting Your Own Business. And the first thing I did was incorporate my family.
What business you started after we did?
First thing I did was incorporate Shaq. And then I put my mom on salary and put my dad on salary. I got them an office and got them a car, and they were so proud because the best day of my life was, how much you make at the Army? Only make $60,000. Now you make $500,000 a year. What? You start crying. Mom, how much you want to make? You make $750 a year.
Because instead of giving it to the IRS, you're giving it to your family and you can write it off.
Right.
That's fucking G.
Old wise man once told me, if you could look in your closet
Look in your driveway and look inside your house and see more money than you can see when you look inside your bank account, you's a poor fool.
The sad truth is that COVID came from the University of North Carolina, which is the leading researcher on beta coronaviruses, working with the U.S. government with the strange idea, ladies and gentlemen, of creating a vaccine for bats. And I have to admit, what I'm about to tell you is only 99% sure. What they wanted to do was to have something that could be put into the air in caves in Southeast Asia that the bats would inhale and then make the bats immune to new infections by these beta coronaviruses. It sounds wild, and it is, but it's a grim truth hidden from view.
This is a big claim. It's the first time that I hear it. Can you tell us a bit more about this, how and why?
The United States did it most likely for the very reason it says in a proposal you can find online, by the way. It's called the Diffuse proposal, submitted to the Defense Department Advanced Research Program. The idea was that American soldiers fight in Southeast Asia. They could get sick from these viruses transmitted by the bats. So we should create vaccines protecting bats from infection. Honestly, only the U.S. Department of Defense could come up with it. Now, because of people who leaked information, we now have a very good record. And what most likely happened is there was a lab accident. So they did these experiments, and then they tested it on the bats that the U.S. has in captivity in the government laboratory in Montana. And the virus worked. It was transmitted in the bats. But there was only one problem, ladies and gentlemen. The kind of bat that the U.S. has in captivity isn't the kind of bat in Southeast Asia. In Montana, they're called Egyptian fruit bats. But the bats in Southeast Asia are called horseshoe bats. Who do you think has those bats in captivity? China. The Wuhan Institute of Virology. You just send it by mail. Oops! What happened? Oh, did I stick myself? There was a lab accident in Wuhan. And incidentally, when the virus appeared, the scientists said, my God, someone was tampering with this kind of virus. This looks not natural. And they said that on February 1st, 2020, in a private phone call of the top scientists that was then released by a Freedom of Information Act. And you know what? 4 days later, those same scientists wrote the first draft of a paper saying, this came from nature. That's called a cover-up. And you know what? 4 amino acids that are inserted in this virus don't appear anywhere else in nature in this family of viruses. And in the research proposals for many years, scientists at University of North Carolina and some other places had the idea of putting in that sequence to do certain experiments because they knew it makes the virus most likely much more transmissible and dangerous to people. So they were studying that. And you can find the documents explaining that's the experiment we want to do. And the next thing we know, several years later, 20 million dead.
So what you in for, brother?
Eternity.
Ooh, that's a long time. You must have did some really bad shit.
Yeah. I sold my soul.
Hope you got something good for it.
Matter of fact, I got nothing for it.
Well, that's a really bad deal if you ask me.
Well, I'm not asking you.
Doesn't really matter, though. Can't sell your soul anyway.
Oh, really? Why do you say that?
It doesn't really belong to you in the first place. No way, no how.
So who does it belong to?
Belongs to God. That universal spirit that animates and binds all things in existence. The devil's gonna try to confuse you. That's a game. But in the end, you're gonna see clear to who and what you are and what you're here to do. Now, you're gonna make some mistakes along the way, everybody does. But if you just open up your heart and open up your mind, you get it.
Who are you?
Just a friend, brother. Just a really good friend.
Explain what the sun taught you. Oh, what did the sun teach me? That all physical reality is sustained by motion, and anything that is no longer at an electromagnetic vibratory frequency undergoes what is called death, which is the permanent termination of the biological functions of the state of the organism. If you fuse your spirit body or your echo body with your physical body, you can eat directly from the source. So, the soles of your hands, the soles of your feet, the palms of your hand, these transmute energy. These are your 11 chakras. Your aura is you have 7 levels of existence. You only see them with the 2 eyes, which is the 3rd dimension, which is the distance level. You have a 7th eye, which is your crown chakra. When your kundalini is flowing, you're supposed to know this, Mr. Amara. When your no, it's Egyptian as well. When your kundalini energy is flowing and all your chakras are aligned, your light body is permeated, and your light body takes over the physical realm. And you see with shell, now you eat on that realm because that is the driver that's in control. So you have never transmigrated the physical realm, so you don't have no experience. When we're dealing with the Caucasian not having no soul, you have to understand, in order to possess the cosmic essence, you have to have melanin. A specific component of melanin being neuromelanin, the one with the N, not the E. Caucasians only have pheomelanin, which is animal melanin. They cannot get above the animal plane conscious level. You see animals kill, a lion will kill you and don't lose no sleep. A gorilla will kill you, don't lose no sleep. A cobra will kill you, don't lose no sleep. The Caucasian is killing us and don't lose no sleep because they are physically composed of the same melanin phenotype of animals. They do not have the neuromelanin, which is manifested within the neuromelanin nerve tract of the brain that allows you to connect to what you call God, the creator, whatever you identify with God as, and possess a conscience. Right?
See this? This is energy too. If you get on the frequency this is on, you can't stop it coming. When the money starts coming, it becomes so fast and furious, you're going to wonder where it was hiding through all the lean years. Most people don't understand that. They do not understand. They think you've got to go to work. You just got to work a little harder. Get out there, put in more hours. Side by side. Wrong track.
What are 3 red flags in a relationship?
A girl that put her hands on you. Can't do that. Can't do that. No. Another red flag would be boy best friends. Not doing that.
No besties?
Nope, don't exist. No man is 100,000% your friend.
Really?
And the girls I be with are pretty. So I know he's not actually a friend.
That's my brother. That's bro.
No. Because if me and you get into it, and you tell bro, and you go over bro house, and you get to drinking with bro, and then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You give bro an inch, he gonna take a mile. I care how bro and sister y'all is, you know?
Henry Ford said it best. He said, the hardest job in the world is to think. That's why most people don't do it. That's why things are built not by choice of the common people, but by choice of the people that utilize their brains.
You know how. Stop waiting for life to be easy. Stop hoping for somebody to save you. You don't need another person lying to you. Things don't all add up. But you need to be resilient. Face some hard facts and you could have an incredible life.
They are coming to accuse I for things I know not about. They are coming to lock I down until I that them suspect I Jaja see them a come, hey, but I a conqueror. Jaja see them a come with the whip, but I a conqueror.